Hello everybody, this is John Doe for doing another today of dinner how to use this card video. So today I'll be discussing both Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure. So I see a lot of people really get confused about this card, like certain things like it has to be sent to the graveyard or whatever, but the only thing that Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure stop are cost effects that have to be sent to the graveyard specifically. So let me give you some examples of certain cards that can't activate their effect. So Thunder King Ryo is on the field. A few people already know that, if Skilldrin's on the field, then Thunder King Ryo can still activate its effect because its cost is to send this card to the graveyard to negate the activation of the special summon of a monster. So unfortunately, since it specifically says the graveyard, and the cost is to send to the graveyard, Thunder King Ryo cannot activate its effect while while Macrocosmos is on the field. Same thing goes for Xian's Dojo, because let me read you the card. This is the card the part you need is to read. You can send this face-up card to the graveyard to special summon. So right there, we already know it can't be activated, and I'll tell you why it doesn't work. So, like I said, cost effects can't be activated if it's sent to the graveyard. So, and the way you know usually you can tell when it's a cost. So, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard. Right there, it has a specific location where it goes, but that's not enough for it not to work. 2, right there. That word alone makes it a cost. Usually. Sometimes it doesn't have that 2 to show that that's a cost. So that's why you had to look up some rulings about that. So, right there, 2 is enough to know that you can't activate its effect, which is why it's a cost. Another situation is let's just say I have Thunder King Ryo on the field, and my opponent's monster attacks with a Stardust Dragon. I activate Honest. He can't actually chain this in a damage step. Actually, he can't actually chain Macrocosmos. Well, let's just say Macrocosmos is already on the field, so I activate Honest. I can't do that because its effect is to send to the graveyard. Where's that card? When the face-up monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. 2. Again, that stupid word doesn't allow you to activate Honest. So hand traps like Honest, Collude, Effect Veiler, DD Crow, and Maxi cannot be activated while either of these cards are on the field. Now, some card effects you can activate because people are still kind of confused about this, but some cards you can activate would be, let me just move this out of the way, that's actually not supposed to be there, I'll just do it right there, but Future Fusion, you can activate this card, Future Fusion, while Macrocosmos or Dimensional Fissure on the field, actually. The reason being because Future Fusion, its cost is not to send to the graveyard, its cost is to reveal a fusion monster from your extra deck. So, technically, when you activate Future Fusion, you can activate it. It doesn't go to the graveyard. The monsters that you put to the graveyard, they are banished afterwards, but its effect still goes through. Another example would be Super Polymerization, but I didn't want to put it in this here, right here. Let me get that out. Super Polymerization. Just typing with one hand. Okay, so discard one card. Card effects that don't specifically have a designation to send to the graveyard can activate their effects. So Super Polymerization can activate its effect because it doesn't designate to the graveyard, even though it is a cost right there. This card cannot be activated unless you discard a card. But discarding does not specifically designate a certain area where it goes. So discard can also mean banished from your hand. So you can activate Super Polymerization. Let me see if I can think of another example. Right, Geki Break. Okay, discard one card. Again, this card, it's a cost to discard a card, but it doesn't have a designation where to go, and I didn't put it in on the sidebar. I have other cards to explain. So some effects that can do their thing, but it just doesn't work. Like that's kind of confusing. Sorry, I kind of messed that one up. But for instance, you can activate Dark World Dealings, and again, no designation, and you can put a Dark World monster to graveyard. However, it can't activate its effect. So I guess this area right here, Stardust Dragon and Grapha, are examples of monster effects or card effects that have to resolve in the graveyard. So Stardust Dragon. You can activate its effect to negate a destruction of any sort. So if you do have Macrocosmos on the field and you activate Stardust Dragon's effect, you can activate it because its cost. You can tribute this card. That's the cost to activate to negate a card. But it doesn't designate a certain area, so you can activate Stardust Dragon. However, its resolution means it can't come back. That's the part where it can't work because it wasn't sent to the graveyard. Well, it can't come back now. That's the reason why, because it's banished. And Dark World monsters can't resolve in the graveyard because they're banished now. So, but they can activate. They can you can activate cards like Dark World Dealings when Macrocosmos is on the field. You just can't resolve with Graphis effect. Now, certain cards that can't activate their effect when this card's on the field to activate their effect would be Lila, Lightsworn monsters, Card Trooper, and Hornet. These three cards are just some examples of card effects that can't be activated. So the reason being is that this card you must control. Okay, let me see here. Send the top three cards to the graveyard. Right there. It has a designation. That's the reason why you can't activate Lila or any Lightsworn's effect to mill cards. Same thing goes for Card Trooper and Hornet. So some people are confused. You can activate Hornet's effect while Dimensional Fissure is on the field. However, you can't activate when there's a Macrocosmos on the field. So let me read you Hornet where it's important. While this card is equipped to, you can send this card to the graveyard. Again, another card that can't do it. But you can activate it when the Dimensional Fissure is on the field because with Macrocosmos is on the field, it banishes everything. While Dimensional Fissure is on the field, it just banishes monsters. While Hornet is activated as an equipped card, it is considered not a monster anymore. It's just an equipped monster. Kind of. It's kind of strange, actually. But you can activate Hornet's effect while Dimensional Fissure is on the field, which is why Dimensional Fissure is a good card to side in, or even make a deck out of Dimensional Fissure with Hornet, not with Hornet, with Inzectors. And also with XYZ monsters, if Macrocosmos is on the field, then the materials are also banished. Everything is banished when it comes with XYZ monsters. But with Dimensional Fissure, so let's just say my opponent monster attacks with Grapha. For some reason, it's on the field, and we have a Dimensional Fissure on the field. So I activate Utopia's effect. So the material that's sent to the graveyard is sent to the graveyard. I mean, its cost does not designate, so that's why you can activate Utopia. But it is sent to the graveyard. So the materials is fine. So, for instance, let's just say Utopia, I decide not to activate this effect, so my monster is destroyed now. So, everything, all the materials of the Utopia is sent to the graveyard, while Utopia is banished. However, while Macrocosmos is on the field, so same situation, my opponent attacks, I don't activate Utopia for some reason. All the materials and Utopia are banished. So that's the reason why those are some effects that can activate their effect in certain situations, but can't activate their when certain things like Dimensional Fissure on the field, or certain things when Macrocosmos, like certain things differ. That's why it happens. And now some things that can stop these stop Macrocosmos. Dimensional Fissure is not a big deal. Macrocosmos. So let me give you an example. You activate Macrocosmos, chaining to let's say. Thunder King, no, I don't know. I can't really think of it right now. Let's just say you chain Macrocosmos to a certain card, and I can't think of a good example right now. Then you can chain Mystical Space Typhoon to negate it. It's not really negating it, actually. It's just stop, like, let's just say you're not chaining, okay? I'm sorry, but you're not chaining Macrocosmos, you're just activating it, so you want to special summon Helios. Well, you can chain Mystical Space Typhoon onto Macrocosmos right there. So, since chains activate resolve backwards, first thing that happens is Mystical Space Typhoon, because that was the last thing that happened. Then Macrocosmos, but Macrocosmos cannot resolve because it wasn't face up on the field. Same situation happens with Soul Morning, because it can negate it because it special summons a monster. So unfortunately, Helios is going to have a sad face, and can't be special summoned. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that little discussion, that very long discussion, 10 minutes. I do have right here, this is the wiki, I'll put it in the description below, and this will help you out. These are a lot of the rulings, what Macrocosmos does, and I'll show you also Dimensional Fissure. I just forgot to put it up. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Merp!